Hello, how are you? Today I have a wonderful recipe for you. It's low carb, high protein, rich in fiber, and uses just a few ingredients. You're gonna love it. It's one of those sweet treats that's perfect as a dessert, but also works great as an afternoon snack or even for breakfast if you like something sweet at that time, because it's nutritious, healthy, and very filling. I'm sure you're going to love it. No sugar, no flour at all to bind it. Stay until the end. You won't want to miss this. Before we start, I want to ask you, do you like chocolate? What's your favorite chocolate flavor? Write it for me down here in the comments. Remember to like the video. That really helps me out here on the channel, on YouTube. If you know someone who likes healthy sweets, share this recipe with them too. Let's grow our chain of kindness. And to get the ingredients, just take a look down below. There are only 3, but I've listed all the exact quantities and the nutritional information so you can easily add this to your routine. So, you'll see that I have my egg white here. Don't worry because the yolk is right here. I just separated it since I'll use it later, okay? Now, I'm going to beat this egg white until it forms stiff peaks and gets nice and fluffy, right? Remember that eggs are an extremely nutritious food, rich in protein. The rest of the egg, the yolk, also contains vitamin D and other nutrients, as well as choline. So it's a great option for our diet. I'm going to beat this until it forms stiff peaks, and then I'll be back so we can continue the recipe from there. Hold on a second. Look, it's really well whipped, see? In fact, if we try to turn it over, look, it stays really firm. Let me show you here. It doesn't fall out anymore, see? Look at the consistency. And if you want to beat it with this here, you can, okay? Just do it by hand. It'll take a little longer than with the mixer, which is why I use the mixer here in the video. But you can use whatever you have at home. Even a fork works. Now I'm going to do the following. I have here my second ingredient, which is chocolate. You can use whichever you like. Mine here is 70% and dairy-free. In fact, the recipe is dairy-free, right? But of course, if you want to use any 70% chocolate you prefer, you can use it. A good chocolate is actually good for you. The higher the proportion of cocoa, the more antioxidants it has. Chocolate is also rich in fiber, good for your mood, brings a sense of well-being. So I'm going to melt this here, and then I'll be right back so we can continue the recipe from there. Hang on. Okay, I've melted the chocolate here, and now what are we going to do? We're going to take those egg yolks I showed you at the beginning, the ones I separated from the whites to beat earlier, and I'll add them right here so we can start making a smooth cream. So, then I'll take this rich chocolate cream and gently fold it into the whipped egg whites. That way, it gets that intense chocolate flavor we want, but it keeps that beautiful light structure from the eggs. I'll show you how to do it in just a second. First, we give all of this a good mix. And if you love recipes like this, healthy, that help you lose weight, that help you control your blood sugar, remember that I have many playlists here on the channel with lots of tips and more recipes. One is specifically to help with weight loss, one to help control blood sugar, a really cool one to help reduce inflammation and pain. I also have plenty of low-carb, low-calorie recipes that are quick, easy, and perfect for any time of day, from breakfast to dinner. I'll leave the links to them down below in the description. Look, while I'm talking to you, it's all mixed together, so it's really practical, and this cream actually turns into a kind of ganache. Now, we come back here and I'll start adding our chocolate little by little. I add just a little at first, so we don't lose all the air from our egg whites. And I mix it like this, so it gets incorporated. So, this first bit is pretty much done now. So I'll keep adding the rest gradually until everything is nice and smooth, and as soon as it's ready, I'll be back. Hang on. I've incorporated it. Look at the batter, how beautiful it is. It almost looks like a mousse. Now we're going to bake it. I grabbed my baking dish and lined it with parchment paper to make sure nothing sticks later. And now we're going to put it in the oven. Now you can really see the texture, how airy it is, see? It's best if the oven is already preheated, okay? So go ahead and preheat your oven when you start beating the egg whites. And now I'm going to bake it in the oven at 360 degrees. When it's ready, we'll come back to make the topping, the second part. So hang on, I'll be right back. All right, I've taken out our little cake, which is already baked. It took 20 minutes. I did the toothpick test, actually did it twice here. You should do it too. Now here's what I'm going to do. I have some chocolate, more chocolate. Let's make our topping. I'm going to melt it again and add an ingredient to make it really creamy. So I'll do the same thing, melt it and be right back, and we'll continue from there. So look, I melted the chocolate and now I'm going to add my avocado to it so we can blend and mix the two together. I love using avocado because it gives the recipe a really great consistency. But besides that, it's super rich in potassium, right? It's one of the fruits with the most potassium, which helps control blood pressure and reduce swelling. It's also very rich in fiber, has wonderful monounsaturated fat that's great for the heart and arteries, and has a neutral flavor that goes really well with chocolate. If you don't have avocado, or if you don't want to use it, and of course, if you're not trying to make this low carb, you can substitute it with banana as well, which works just fine. So now I'm going to blend and mix the two together here to make a cream, and then I'll be right back. Hold on. All right, I've got our base here, so I'm going to add the topping and spread it out. Look at how it turns out. Look, it's like a mousse, see? Look at this consistency. And this is still going in the fridge, so I'm going to put all the topping in here, right? I'm going to spread it out, smooth it, and soon I'll put it in the fridge. Then we'll cut a piece. It's quick. Since there's chocolate and avocado, it sets really fast. So I'm going to finish organizing here, chill it, and I'll be back in just a bit. Hold on. Look, I took it out of the fridge. Now all that's left is to cut it. I'll cut it carefully here and be right back. So look, I cut it into pieces here. It made 16. You can see it. I'm going to get my plate, put one piece on it so we can take a bite and you can see the texture inside better. Look, I took a piece here so we can see what the texture is like inside. It even looks like a fancy bakery sweet, doesn't it? It's wonderful. Just look how creamy it is, how amazing. Look how wonderful. Make it at home, you're going to love it for sure. Just look. Leave a like on the video, that helps me a lot, and share it with someone who will enjoy it, with someone who needs it. Let's work together to spread this chain of kindness. That's what I want here with the channel. Let's try it. Just 3 ingredients and the result is amazing, delicious. Make it at home, you're going to love it. See you next time. Bye.